This week's podcast is brought to you by Tracy Food Pride. Tracy Food Pride is your one-stop grocery store. Whether it's a quick pickup for milk, or burgers for the grill, or even a full week's worth of meals, Tracy Food Pride has what you need. Grocery, frozen, produce, meat, and bakery, Tracy Food Pride has you covered. And don't forget Banana Wednesday. Tracy Food Pride, hometown shopping, exceptional service.
Welcome to the fourth edition of the Headlight Hot Seat. Today we are joined by a man everyone knows in town, I think, for a good reason, Jay Fultz. He's a 1992 graduate of Tracy Area High School, a very successful farmer, and of course one of many of the main volunteers for Boxcar Days, which is surprisingly just around the corner. Jay, how are you?
I'm doing well, Per. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I lost my voice a little bit because of the smoke screen outside that we've been experiencing. Tara saw that the air quality in Minnesota was worse than Canada yesterday.
Oh,
can you believe that?
That's scary with all the fires that are going on up there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not fair for us, but it is what it is. So Jay, let's start out by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you mentioned that I'm a graduate here of Tracy in 1992. I left for college and then actually stayed away until 2006. So 2006 brought my family back here and have been farming with my family ever since.
And your kids? Names and what they're up to now.
Yeah, so Nathan is 22, just graduated from the University of Minnesota Duluth campus this spring. He is actually working at the aquarium up there, and then he also works for the school itself. But he does have an interview today for we'll call it his big boy job. So that's exciting.
Nice. And
then my daughter Elizabeth, she's at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities campus. She's studying kinesiology. The goal is to become an athletic trainer, but the thing that she's really excited about is she's an intern manager for the wrestling team.
I was going to ask you about that just now.
Yeah, so that's been fantastic. She's getting to do a lot of things that a lot of kids haven't done before, and really looking forward to where she's able to go with that.
Mm-hmm. They grow fast.
They do go very fast.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's fun to be a parent, but it's also where did the time go type of thing.
Right.
You know, even though your kids are more recently out of school than my daughter, but it's still like, oh my gosh, they're, like you said, big boy job.
Yeah.
And they're doing all that stuff now. But you have wonderful kids. I really enjoyed covering their events and getting to know them as they got older in school. So we're here to talk about Boxcar Days, but before we do that, let's talk a little farming. And I have a layman question for you, considering the ideal conditions we've had so far. Define a bumper crop for me, Jay. What is a bumper crop?
You know, that's, to me, my definition of bumper crop would be something that's probably 10 to, like for the corn, for example, 10 to 20 bushels above the normal, what you get. And everybody's normal is a little bit different. Okay. You know, I would say farmers are kind of superstitious, and the way the crop is this year, we really don't want to talk about it because it's always
sorry.
like,
I apologize.
You know, I'm going to knock on wood here.
Exactly.
No, it's the corn is looking fantastic. It really is. We've had plenty of moisture. We've had some good sun, a lot of heat. So it's been great for the corn. The beans, you know, they look good, but they need some more sunlight. And so all this smoke isn't helping things. But
I was going to ask, does that affect crops, the smoke?
It does a little bit. You know, the beans really like the sun. And just with a little bit of cloud cover we've had, or like we said, the haze, it just affects them a little. But no, these the crops we have right here in our area look fantastic.
You're very diversified with the pigs.
Correct.
I think most people know about Fultz Farms these days. Can you just tell us give us a little summary of your operation with the pig farm?
Sure. So we are a wean to finish operation. So we get our little pigs when they are roughly 22 days old. They weigh approximately 13 pounds. And then we take them all the way up to market weight, which for us is between 290 and 295 pounds. We raise about 55,000 pigs a year.
Okay. So you get them when they're cute?
Yes, you get them when they're cute.
Get rid of them when they're big and
big and feisty, and yeah.
and harder to handle, I'm
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
That's got to be difficult. I know you got some machine going on out there, some mechanics, right? With the way the pigs go through. Is that accurate?
We have a machine that helps us when we do vaccinations.
Vaccinations. That's
Yes.
it. Okay.
Yeah. When we do vaccinations, we have a machine that helps with that. Just helps move them along a little bit. It's not as stressful on them nor on us. But when it comes time to selling, that's all just working with the pigs in the pens and using panels. And we generally work with teams of 3 or 4 people. So it takes a fair amount of manpower to sell a load of pigs.
All right, let's go on to what we're here for. Boxcar Days, 98 edition coming up of Tracy's Big Celebration. That's crazy. And I know it's going to be crazier in a couple of years when we hit 100, but
The 100 is going to be a big one.
yeah, it is. Are you, just curious, are you making plans for the 100th yet, the Boxcar Days committee?
I would say we've had some initial conversations about it already of things that we would like to do. But as for specific plans, no, we haven't made anything specific yet.
Okay. But do you start the process like September 4th for looking ahead, or do you just kind of take a break and...
The committee that we have is really a well-oiled machine. And there are things that our community expects, of what Boxcar Days is. And there's things you always look forward to. So we do take a little bit of a break after Boxcar Days is done and all the cleanup and things are put back away. But come back around October, November, we just start jumping back into things. Not super often right away, but start planning things, looking over what worked, what didn't work, how can we tweak things. And then, it really is a year-long process.
Yep. Well, speaking of tweaking, I think one of the keys to having a successful Boxcar Days is the tweaking that is done. They're not always major changes, and there's not always a lot of them, but it seems like every year there's a little bit something new. Can you give us a little insight as to one of the new things this year?
Yes, definitely. The new event this year is actually happening on Saturday, August 30th. And that is being sponsored by the Tracy Fire Department. It is a brisket and pulled pork dinner. It's going to be down at the beer tent running from 11:30 to 4:30. The fire department is doing all of the smoking and the roasting on their own grills. Okay. And then it's going to be a fundraiser for them.
Okay. I'm hungry now, officially. But yeah, the adding things. I don't know how long the Kids Day in the Park has been going on. I don't know how long it's been dubbed that. But I think that's a huge draw that's on Sundays.
That's on Sundays.
And of course, Central Park is the place to go for that. What is so great about Kids Day in the Park for you?
I think the biggest thing is that it's free.
Okay.
It's free for the kids. And we've got just some fantastic things. The inflatables and the bungee trampoline will be back. Lincoln Dairy is coming down with their ice cream plus their food cart. The kids' pedal pull is down there. The Taekwondo, easy for me to say, demonstration. That's going to be going on. It's just a great time, and the way Central Park has been transformed, really, and continues to be transformed, it's just an amazing place to have it.
Have you visited the park yet?
I have.
Playground?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That, again, we give shout outs all the time here, but the park board in the city and Diane Campbell, especially, they have done so much behind the scenes. About behind the scenes work with Boxcar Days, but that playground has transformed the park. Would you agree?
For sure. It is absolutely amazing. I was able to help volunteer for one day, and I'll put one section of it up, and the volunteers that showed up, for that was truly phenomenal. And those pieces of equipment look fantastic.
Yeah, it rivals any, I think, large city. I don't see Marshall having something like this. I know there are nice playgrounds around, but for a city of 2,000 or so people, it's impressive.
It is.
It's not done yet. I mean, we're looking at a lot of new improvements at the park with the band shell, the watering system, maybe a warming house, get that ice skating rink going again, the fountain. They'll resurrect that hopefully, and that'll be a huge historic thing. So, Boxcar Days again. We'll circle back. What do you look forward to the most in Boxcar Days, Jay?
I love just watching people have a good time, and that's really what we're trying to do. And we try to bring something for everybody to do, whether it's the kids, and then the adults and just all the activities that we try. So there's always something going on for all the different age groups.
What's a typical day in the life of someone like you? And obviously, you're not the only one, but you're here right now in front of the mic. But just the preparation, when does that begin? I know the big thing is getting the tent up, getting the bingo stand up in that little corner of downtown. But take us through a typical as we build towards, Labor Day.
Sure. So of course, the week of Labor Day is the big time. The tent and the bingo stand go up on Wednesday. Thursday is a little bit of a reprieve, and then Friday we set up everything inside the beer tent. We set up the coolers for the pop. All the beer shows up. That's our big day. We start right away in the morning, and we're decorating and moving in, picnic tables. Actually, picnic tables start on Wednesday too, but that's the big day. And then the volunteer night, the burger night with all of our volunteers, that kicks off at 5:00. So officially Friday at 5:00 is when things start. My day usually will end then about 1:30, 2:00 in the morning when we close down the beer tent and get everything kind of put away. Saturday is early day because of kegs and eggs. So
I was going to bring that up because don't you and Tara last couple of years been down at the church basement?
Yep,
Tracy Lutheran?
the Tracy Lutheran Church basement, and we've been browning all the sausage for the kegs and eggs. We usually get there about 5:00, and we're browning the pork there, the seasoned pork. So ready for that. And then, all the events during Saturday and Saturday night, we got Rhino coming in, which they are a very good band. I'm excited to listen to them. And then that day will end, again, it'll be about 2:00 or so. It's a long weekend. It's a great weekend. It's something I truly just enjoy being a part of.
Do you think you enjoy it more or less because of all the work you put in? And that's a subjective question, but like it seems to me as a volunteer and someone who's got his hands in a lot of different places, you're more stressed at times. Like, oh, I hope this is taken care of. Or do you ever do that, or do you just enjoy the weekend?
Oh no, there's always stress.
Okay.
The big thing is we try to make it look as easy as possible for everybody who is just here to enjoy the boxcar days. No, the committee members, there's always something that throws us for a little bit of a loop. I mean, that's the case with any kind of event.
Well, especially 4 days.
Yeah, it's
Friday,
4
Saturday,
days.
Sunday, Monday.
It's a 4-day event.
Yep.
And for us, this town the size of Tracy to pull this off is pretty unbelievable. But I have to admit, I think I enjoy boxcar days more because of how involved I am in the whole process and just seeing everything just kind of tick along.
Probably a sense of pride thing.
It is. Yep.
Now, all the volunteers who help, they're not all quote unquote boxcar day committee members or chamber members. When I saw you guys, was it 2 years ago, maybe all the hands on deck type of thing going up with the beer tent. Talk about that a little bit, just about the community spirit. And I know that sounds cliche and corny, but there really is a community spirit when it comes to boxcar days.
There is. We have quite a few volunteers that come in and help with just specific things, whether it's taking a shift in the beer tent or helping set up the beer tent or the bingo stand. Drew Larson, Drew Hebig, George Hebig. Geez, George, he's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he was part of the committee and the chairman for so long, and now he still does the electrical stuff for us. That Jeff Carpenter and Carl Campbell, Mike Peterhines.
Keep
my
going.
gosh.
Don't leave anyone out, Jay.
Well, I'm going to, because there's so many people that have been helping for so many years. They just know that, okay, Wednesday night the beer tent's going to go up, and so they show up. And
George is a perfect example of that.
yes,
He was doing it, driving around in a golf cart when I was a kid. I see him before the parade and whatnot, but it does take a village to pull something like this off, doesn't it?
it does. We're very fortunate that we have so many people that are willing to step up and help, because this is not something that just our committee would be able to do. There's no way we can handle it. There's a lot of people that help out, and we are grateful for everybody.
So as you said, things kick off on Friday the 29th with the Chamber Burger Night. That's when the fun begins, but that's just a kind of a slow crescendo to what's going on over the weekend. We have the beer pong tournament Friday. We have Jerry Gladys. Everyone knows Jerry Gladys, of course, spinning the hits as he does. But then Saturday, it's like you said, it starts early. The road race is Saturday morning in the park. A new cross country coach, Billy Dean, will be overseeing that. And then Kegs and Eggs. The softball tournament interests me because I know softball isn't what it used to be. I think one year back in the 70s, we had like 32 teams. Now they're trying to get, they're scratching to get 8.
Correct.
Are they on, do you know anything about the softball tournament as far as how many teams?
I don't know where they're at right now as far as teams. I know that softball around us, a lot of teams that used to play with us are now going out to Sioux Falls because it's a bigger tournament out there with a lot more prize money, which, I understand. But I still think that Axfords do a fantastic job of running that out there, and we're appreciative that they do handle that.
And that's a thankless job too, because a lot of times I've seen out there, there's always some controversy. There's always guys from some teams mad about this, or a call from the ump. Or a few years ago, it was the lighting situation out there because we went really late and the lights weren't sufficient, apparently, according to some of these players. But these are hardcore softball players, a lot of them, aren't they?
They are.
They come from Mankato and
They're
all over.
all over. Yep, they come from all over.
Also, Saturday, we have, of course, the 400 Open golf tournament. That's been going on a long time. Beanbags are always popular. Texas Hold'em continues. And then the Kitty Parade, of course, by Sanford, sponsored by the Headlight, shameless plug. And then, of course, the fire department, their brisket and pulled pork dinner. And I think the coolest thing about Boxcar Days in the last few years is that the pizza thing.
Yes.
Now they're calling it Pizza Puzzles and Guzzle. And the really cool thing is not just the fun that people have, but it includes little kids and big kids. That's got to be a fun thing for you to watch.
It is. And I just love how competitive it gets. Yes, there's a lot of laughing and there's a lot of shouting, but some of the teams, they really want to win.
Yeah.
And they are going for it 100%. And that is really
To a
fun.
fault.
Yeah, really to a fault. I bought the puzzles this year for both the adult version and the little kid version. And adults, you better be ready because it's going to take you.
How many
It's a
pieces?
good puzzle. It's a 500 piece puzzle, and it's going to take them all the 2-hour time limit to get it done.
You got to find one with just all blue sky or all green grass.
Oh, that's a little too mean.
What's the image on the puzzle? If you don't
It's a locomotive.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense in Tracy, of course. Skip over to Sunday. We got the Kids' Day, of course. That's the big day in Central Park. So that starts early again. That's funny how everything starts so early in Boxcar Days.
It does, yeah.
The Belgian waffles at 9, and then the mud volleyball tournament is huge. I mean, that never seems to, kind of lose its luster. And we thank the Caboose for literally digging a hole, 2 holes,
2 holes
in their campus over there. But talk about that and just the sports aspect with the golf, the softball, the mud volleyball tournament. I guess beanbags could be considered a
beanbags,
sport.
the running
Pickleball,
the running event.
Yeah.
A lot of just physical activity. Mud volleyball, if you've never seen mud volleyball, you have to go out to the Caboose on Sunday. It's hilarious. I mean, the way these individuals are just diving through the mud and through the water, and sometimes it's not very warm. The fire department just fills, the morning, they just fill these holes in the ground right away in the morning with water right out of the tap, basically. So it's 50 plus degrees, and I'm hoping this year it's a nice warm Boxcar Days to help warm that water up early.
Well, and then you talk about the competitive thing too. I know there's a lot of volleyball players, kind of a tour they go on, the sand volleyball players mostly, but there's a lot of fun to be had. But when it gets down to it, who's going to win? that competitive spirit comes out, doesn't it?
It does, definitely.
So what else we got on now? We're over here. You have to excuse me, readers. Or listeners. I'm reading off the poster. Pickleball. We mentioned it a little bit. Sponsored by Ralco. That is in its second year, I think.
Second year.
Yeah, and I know the organizer, Natalie Oline. I graduated with her,
Okay.
and I think she still lives in Canby.
Well, I was thinking it was Marshall, but
Oh, maybe she used to live in Canby.
okay.
That's neither here nor there, but it's nice that that's coming back because pickleball's so important. Not important, but it's so popular these
It's
days.
getting more and more popular all the time.
But it's not new. I think people thought, when it came to Tracy a few years ago, there's this new thing, but someone told me that pickleball goes back years. Like it's been popular for a long time. It just took a while to kind of get out to us here in Tracy. Horseshoe tournament, mud volleyball we mentioned. Then the kiddos go with the puzzle and guzzle. Is that in the park?
That's in the park.
Picnic shelter.
Yes.
Okay. Singing cues. Now that's Quinn Horvath and Quentin Brunsvold, correct?
Correct.
And they're in the beer tent for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They're singing for 4 hours.
4 hours, yes.
I saw them, weren't they at a chamber banquet?
Yeah, that
once
chamber banquet, yep.
For like an hour. That's a whole set. I don't know what a set is in the music business, but seems to me like a pretty big set. Speaking of entertainment, you touched on the Rhino. They're a top 40 party rock dance band. I did my homework on
There we go. Good job.
We don't just do papers here. So I found that they're playing the State Fair this year on the 2 days bookending their visit here in Tracy.
Okay.
So they're going back and forth. If you want a sneak peek, they're at the Lyon County Fair this Friday. And they also do other smaller county fairs. How do you pick a band? Does it come down to availability or?
Availability is a big part of it. We're also looking for a band that's able to appeal to the masses too.
Mm-hmm.
And there is, we're a small celebration, so there is a budget, part aspect to this as well. But no, Rhino, when we watch them, their YouTube stuff, we talk to them in person. We are excited to have them at Boxcar Days.
And there's no cover charge to that, thanks to
No cover charge.
Boxcar Win. They're sponsoring it?
Yep, Boxcar Win sponsored the dance.
Cool. So then we go to Monday. We're not done yet, folks.
Well, we missed something on Sunday.
Uh-oh. Of course I missed something. What'd I miss?
Miss Tracy. We can't
Oh,
forget
my
about Miss
God.
Tracy.
Piper Freeberg's going to kill me for that. Mallory's going to kill me too. Yeah, Miss Tracy, obviously. That's 6:30 Sunday evening at the high school. 9 contestants this year. It's a pretty big deal.
Yes.
What do you think is the pull for that? Because that gym is full. It's like graduation, without lights, basically.
Right.
But why the draw? I mean, it's such a Tracy thing, but it seems like a lot of people, they'll just come to town and they'll go watch it.
I really think it's because it's such a fantastic, and I don't want to call it performance because that's not what it is.
No.
But
Jesse James won't like that word.
No.
It's not a pageant either.
It's not a pageant.
No.
Definitely not. These young ladies, they start even before school ends, with the practicing, and they go all through the summer. And the work that they put in, the hours they put in is just absolutely phenomenal. And the directors for the Miss Tracy program are fantastic, and the hours that they put in. So when you come to the Miss Tracy program there Sunday night at 6:30, expect to be wowed right away from the opening number through all the talents, through presence and composure with their, I'll call them evening gowns, if you would. It is absolutely a fantastic event.
And I think part of that is because of people like Jesse. We talk about the Boxcar Day committee and the volunteers. They've been doing it for a long time. It's the same thing with Miss Tracy.
Correct.
You got your Lex Ericksons, you got your Vicky Laus, I'm going to miss people. I shouldn't have started the names, but that really shows when these girls in high school know the Mallory Fultzes and they know they've been involved in this for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of Fultz's, Fultz Farms is sponsoring Kiss the Pig.
We
right?
are again,
For the
second year for
second
this.
year. Our good friend Lori Elf puckered up last year.
I don't know if I'd even call that a pucker up with how fast that occurred.
Okay, I got photos of it, some pretty good ones that she's not happy that I ran them, but okay, it wasn't a pucker. It wasn't a smooch. I
No,
don't know what
that was such a quick peck that it was almost imperceptible. But she did it. Lori was a fantastic sport, and it was a lot of fun.
This year, contestants, I can say the contestants, right?
Yes.
Mr. Matt Knockmoose, our new principal, Mandy Dibble, Coach Derek Ashball, coach and teacher, Darcy Carlson over at Midwest Bank, and law enforcement personnel, Mr. Adam Connor, is also. That's a great group.
Yes.
Do you have to talk them into it, or how does that work?
Well, there's a little coercion into this, of course. Who really wants to kiss a pig? Nobody. But they know it's for the community, and it's just fun, and people come out to see that. The Kiss the Pig really came around because we lost the pigeon race or the pigeon auction because of bird flu, and there's not as many people who do the homing pigeons anymore. The pigeon auction disappeared, and so we wanted to bring something back that was still a lot of fun that people could get behind. And you'll need to be looking at some of the different businesses around town because we'll have all of these individuals will have a little bucket, if you
Collection
would,
bucket
a
thing?
collection
Yeah.
bucket. And the way to vote for the person that you want to see kiss the pig is you drop $1 or a $5 or whatever denomination you like into that little bucket, and the person with the most dollars at the end will end up kissing the pig.
Well, maybe the bird flu thing was a blessing in disguise in terms of our conversation here, because I think the Kiss the Pig is probably going to end up being more popular than the pigeon races, although they were really popular too.
Yeah, they were very popular. Yeah,
All right, now we skip to Monday.
there we go.
Another early day, fly and drive in at the airport. People can come out and look at the new things going on at the airport with the hangar. Hopefully, some of the walls will be up at the hangar by then. I think Monday they're going to start asphalt work with around the
In the taxiway
new-
area.
Yep, the taxi area and the new T hangar. So that'll be cool to look at. Farmers market again at Cinnamon Hen. St. Mary's gets in on the act with their arts and crafts fair. I know that's really popular. St. Mary's food stand, again, very popular. And the beer tent is still open. That beer tent, I don't know why that's so popular all the time, Jay.
It never really shuts down.
But that speaks to the volunteers again, because there's people, security, taking tickets, bartending. Bartending is not, it's kind of fun, but it's not easy work because you're standing on your feet the whole time. It's loud. People are, they've maybe some of them have had a few too many. How do you go about picking? Is that just a sign up sheet type thing where, okay, I'll bartend this shift, or how does that work?
It is a sign up. We do have just a tremendous amount of volunteers that they just want to work specific shifts. We are always looking for more volunteers, though. I think that we still have a couple shifts available in the beer tent. I can't tell you exactly which ones they are right now, but we're always looking for people to help volunteer for there. And taking tickets. Yeah, you sit there, but you get to talk to people. When you're behind the bar, when it's not like Saturday night when it's super busy because of the street dance, it's a time where you can just catch up with people.
Yep.
So that makes it a lot of fun. I enjoy actually being behind the bar and just being able to talk to people.
Yeah, yeah. And you water down the drinks pretty good, or?
Oh, yeah.
Do you make them strong?
I wouldn't say they're not watered down. Let's just go with that.
Safe. Fair enough. So let's transition quickly into food. I love food. Again, there's a lot of choices. Rolling Hills Pizza, Sweet Kettle Madness, Asian food, hut food stand. But my favorite's always going to be the Lions.
Always lines.
I don't care what you say. I don't care how many food trucks you bring in. No disrespect to those. But I will not attend a Boxcar Days without at least 2 burgers. Do they do the ice cream anymore.
Yeah, they still have their malts.
They do.
Yep.
Didn't they not do that last year?
Last year they did.
Okay.
There was 1 year before that their ice cream machine broke down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I have to have a burger with the sautéed onions on it. Got to have a malt from them. It's a staple.
Can't beat it. So there's food, there's fun, there's every other F word you can think of. Yes, I said that. Tara's going to be mad at me for saying that, but I tried to be illiterate. Anything else, Jay, you want to wrap up the Boxcar Days for me?
You know, probably the biggest thing and one of the things that Boxcar Days is known for is the Grand Parade. And that kicks up.
Grand Parade?
We did not talk about the Grand Parade. So the Grand Parade starts 1 p.m. on Monday, Labor Day, 1 p.m. sharp. It starts at 1. George Hebig has been the master of ceremonies, if you would, with that parade for years, decades. Mm-hmm. And it hits 1 o'clock and that parade starts to roll. Just a fantastic event. You know, the last couple of years we've had well over 100 different floats or groups coming through. This year is going to be no different.
The first Boxcar Days had 31 floats.
Okay.
That's a little trivia.
Trivia for you.
Yes. Well, we're putting together our 150th edition for Tracy's celebration this year. So I learned a lot about my hometown that I didn't know about. And that was in 1927, I think. There were 31. They called them industrial floats because they were only businesses who did them.
Sure.
And then that transformed into, boy, we used to have a lot of bands. Unfortunately, we don't have too many high school bands touring anymore like we used to. But nevertheless, it's a huge parade. The streets are lined. It's just amazing how many people come into Tracy for, not just for the parade, but then they stay for the rest of Boxcar Days. But does it ever surprise you when you see 3rd Street or whatever street just lined with people?
It doesn't surprise me. It just doesn't, because it is such a popular event. And I've been through it a couple times on a float, whether it's with the Fine Arts Council or other things. And it is just fun to see so many people. I mean, especially by St. Mary's, it's 12 to 14 deep.
Yeah, it's
over
crazy.
there. It's fantastic. It's just fun. And the people that are on the floats and throwing candy, please make sure you get off to the curb, not just dropped in the street. But no, it's just fun to be a part of it. It's fun to spectate. It's fun to roll through it. It's just a great way to kind of wrap things up for Boxcar Days.
Yeah. Everyone loves a parade. Jay, you are off the hot seat. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, Per.
This week's podcast was brought to you by Tracy Food Pride. Tracy Food Pride is your one-stop grocery store. Whether it's a quick pickup for milk, burgers for the grill, or even a full week's worth of meals, Tracy Food Pride has what you need. Grocery, frozen, produce, meat, and bakery, Tracy Food Pride has you covered. And don't forget Banana Wednesday. Tracy Food Pride, hometown shopping, exceptional service. Join us next week on the Headlight Hot Seat for a sit-down with TMB's newest football coach and a preview of the upcoming season.